Today we're going to be making Scotch eggs. Scotch eggs for me means we're going on holiday, summer, beach, we're going on the boat. My family gets super excited. It's like having gammon on Christmas. The secret for this Scotch egg to try and get the soft yolk after you fry it is you're actually not going to boil the egg in the beginning. You're going to steam it, so it evenly gives a slow cook. The problem with this is it takes a lot more time to peel, but it's worth it. So what we need 5 eggs. 4 eggs is going to make 4 Scotch eggs, 1 egg for dunking. You need 1 cup of breadcrumbs, about a 1/4 cup of flour. We need 3 tablespoons of mixed herbs. I've got 1 tablespoon dried sage, 1 tablespoon of dried thyme, and 1 tablespoon of dried parsley. Chopped onion. This is 1 whole chopped onion. If you would like to learn how to chop an onion, please have a look at my Back to Basics recipes. I'm going to use half an onion, and then salt and pepper to taste. We've got 500 grams of pork mince, and then we're going to just use a little bit of milk to thin the egg that we dunk the Scotch egg in. First thing we need to do, fry your onion. So you need a drizzle of olive oil for your onion. This is a whole onion. Like I said, I would like to only cook half, but it's up to you. Turn it down. Now that your onion's pretty much cooked, you're just gonna add garlic to your taste. My family and I, we love garlic, so instead of 1 teaspoon, I'm gonna add 2, but I'd say 1 teaspoon is enough for the normal family. Right, so our onion and garlic is cooked. We need to let this cool before we add it to our pork mince. Reason being is you don't want to add hot onion to cold mince, it will cook unevenly. So we're going to put this in a separate bowl so it can start to cool, as well as the herbs that we're going to add to our pork mince. You give it a good stir so it's all evenly mixed. This will help when mixing it into the pork mince. The flavor will spread evenly between the onions, herbs and the pork. So the cameraman has zoomed in on my drink. I'm having gin and tonic today. Thing about Scotch eggs, no one really knows where they come from. There's a lot of competing origin stories. I'm not even going to get into it. It's British. Gin and tonic matches to me, and that's why I've gone this way. Scotch actually comes from scotched. Scotched back in the day means like hacking meats to try and tenderize or roughly mince. That's where the scotched comes from, not Scotch like Scottish. Right, so while we're waiting for our onion mix to cool, we're gonna start the egg part of the Scotch egg. Okay, for the first cook of the eggs, you need to just have the water boiling like this. It's not a complete boil, it's more like a simmer. That's what you want. You want to steam them, not boil them. So add your 4 eggs in. See, it will come up to 1/4 or 1/3 of the egg. Put a lid on, turn the heat down low, and put a timer on for 5 minutes. Okay, so 5 minutes is up. Now you're going to take your egg straight out of the hot water into ice cold water. This is to stop the cooking. Okay, so we're going to let the 4 eggs cool down. While we're waiting for our eggs to cool, we're going to start with the pork mince mix. Your onions and garlic should be cool enough. So you're going to add your onion, garlic and herb mix into your pork mince. Salt is to taste. So the safest option, if you're not sure, make your mix, get a frying pan on and fry a little bit of mince just so you can taste for yourself. Also, I didn't include this in the recipe because it's not standard, but as I've said before, 2 of my favorite things, cheese and chocolate. I'm not going to put chocolate in this, but I am going to put cheese. Grate some parmesan into the pork mince just for deliciousness. If you are adding parmesan as I have, just make sure you don't add a lot of salt before you taste it first. Obviously, parmesan is salty, will add to the salt content. So you're going to get in there and just mix it with your hands. Okay, once everything is mixed, you're going to divide it into 4 balls. Right, so your eggs have been in for 10 minutes. They are properly cooled. Break the eggs softly. Because the eggs are softer than what you'd usually work with, you need to use a spoon as it's the same shape as an egg. You're going to almost pry the shell off the egg rather than peeling. So get a gap with your fingers. You're just going to peel some part of the shell off. Okay, get your spoon and just gently put it between the shell and the flesh. Okay, it does take a while, but again, like I say, it's worth it. So I've made 2 harder just because my husband, not a fan of soft eggs. He's definitely going to have 2, and I prefer soft eggs. So just so you can see the difference, these are my soft. Very delicate. You can even see it's a little bit broken. That's okay, as long as it's not the yolk. Just be gentle. And these are 2 harder ones. So these are sitting at soft to medium right now, and these are soft. By the time you fry them, they're gonna go, you know, 1 level of cooking up. Okay, so now you get your flour, your eggs, and your breadcrumbs. To the 1 egg, I've added a little bit of milk, about a teaspoon of milk in there. Just whisk that together. So you're gonna grab 1 bundle of mince. You're gonna flatten it out in the palm of your hand, okay? You want there to be enough surface area to cover the whole egg, because once the egg is in your palm, you can't move it too much. Take an egg, put it in the middle, and you're just gonna gently put the mince around the egg. Where there's surplus mince, where you can see it's not gonna make an even layer, just take it off and spread it somewhere else, okay? Just keep working the mince. It will eventually join. You'll see it will all be fine. Right, so where you see cracks and everything, you can just gently fill them. Again, don't apply too much force for a soft egg. You'll crack the yolk. You don't want a scrambled Scotch egg, okay? You want to be able to open it and have that beautiful yolk shine. So we're going to start crumbing them now. Your flour, egg, and your breadcrumbs are ready. Keep 1 hand dry and 1 hand wet. It's going to make your life a lot easier. By that, I mean 1 hand's going to be dedicated to the flour and the breadcrumbs. So the flour's here. Just work it in. Make sure the mixture is tight, but without pressing too hard. Again, for soft yolk only. If it's hard, you've got no problems, okay? We're gonna move to the wet mix. This is your milk and egg. Breadcrumbs, dry hand. You wanna try to keep the shape of an enlarged egg, okay? And again, now that you're at the end, just get some crumbs on your hand to coat the egg mix that you already have. And you're just gonna help shape it. Okay, right. So we're gonna deep fry them. If you don't have a deep fryer, you're just gonna fill a pot with oil. Do 1 at a time, or however big your pot is. Just don't overfill it. Your deep fat fryer must be at 200. You're gonna drop it in, and then you're just gonna do 1 side at a time. 2 minutes each side. These guys are nearly done. So you're gonna have your paper towel. Take them out, beautifully golden brown. That's what you want. Okay, I can't wait any longer. Let's cut it open. Let's see what it looks like. I like to use a bread knife to cut the Scotch eggs. You gently just use the blade, you know, don't force it. Guys, that's what you want. It's still gooey in the middle. Yum. So, serving. All we're gonna do is a simple rocket salad, right? So I'm gonna use a mustard mayo. If you don't feel like making your own mayonnaise, get some shop bought, add a spoon of mustard mayo. But honestly, I prefer the taste of homemade. On my Back to Basics videos, it shows you how to make a mayonnaise. And again, it takes you 1.5, maybe 2 minutes. Really not worth it. Plus, works out way cheaper. So this is a mustard mayonnaise I've made earlier. I'm gonna take a tablespoon, and you can see it's quite thick. But because I'm using it as a dressing, I'm gonna add some more vinegar so that it almost becomes a vinaigrette. It's gonna thin it down, but it's also gonna add the tanginess we need to get through the rich Scotch eggs. Okay, so I've added a teaspoon, I'd say. Okay, so it's a thinner mayonnaise. You want the mayonnaise to dress the rocket, but you also want mayonnaise to eat with the Scotch egg, so you get that mustard flavor from the mustard mayo. Okay, so we're just gonna add a handful of rocket to our mayo now. You're gonna lightly coat it, and you're just gonna put it on the side of the Scotch egg. Yum, yum. A luxurious traveling snack.